past the creaky metal gates, through the fog-enveloped graveyard, you find yourself on the rickety old porch of a long-forgotten home. Beyond the threshold sits a man obsessed, a tortured soul, cursed to discover all about the Southern California haunt community and beyond. You have now entered the domain of the Creepcast with Rick Creeper. You're listening to the Creepcast.
Hey everybody, let's see if I remember how to do this. How long has it been?
About 6 months, I would
Jesus,
say. Yeah,
right
before haunt season.
I got a little ring rust. I got to shake that off. And plus, we have an amazing guest today. I've admired this man for some time now, and that's my co-host and business partner, buddy of mine, Emmanuel Manjivar, aka Menji Speaks, voiceover artist extraordinaire.
Greetings, everyone. How are you?
But we're here for someone else more important. This handsome devil on camera. I'm looking at. He's shaking his head. Just take the compliment. Jesus.
So modest.
This man, who indirectly associated through the same industry and same community, the haunt industry and then the horror community, and just being spooky people. He's a character actor. He's a producer, self-taught special effect makeup artist. I'm going to give you that title. Cosplayer, horror fan. He's a dad, and he's just a working class dude. And I mean, the guy has a legit job like the rest of us. And then he told me the other day he's on set for 10 hours as well. Am I correct?
Yeah.
There you go.
It was a long day.
Long day for this man. So, you're a rare species like some of us. The man I'm speaking about is Noel Jason Scott. That is the coolest name, first of all. I'm sorry, I can't call you Noel or Mr. Scott. I got to say all three of them. We have a mutual friend, myself and Emmanuel, Michael Santana, who hosts a 2S Horror Quarters podcast. He has Manhattan Films. I probably butchered that. He's a videographer. He's a filmmaker.
Michael R. Santana.
Is it R?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think it
is. It?
Could be, yeah.
It might be. But I can't call him Mike. I can't call him Michael or Mr. Santana. It's always, hey, Michael Santana. And I think we all do that.
Oh, yeah, I picked it up from you for sure.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to address you by all three names. So how's it going, man? How you been?
I've been good. Thanks for having me on the show.
I found you very interesting, and I still do. So I was like, this is a man I want to interview. It just everything you do and all the spooky monsters, and then the atmospheric characters you played on movies, and then the things I've seen you cosplay like a spook show and other conventions as well. Excuse me. So I was like, you know what? Let's bring him on because I want to pick his brain. And plus, I like to showcase guests and everything they got going on, promote who you are, and then introduce you to the world. They might just know the man on the surface. So we're going to dig just this much, a little deep, not too much. So
dig away. I got shovels and stuff.
There we go.
We can do this.
There we go. I'm going to acknowledge this. You have over 74 film credits and television, not including a handful of music videos as well. I don't see how you do it. That is a lot. And we're going to talk about how you got into this. But my first question, I'm just going to jump into it. Who exactly is Noel Jason Scott?
Wow. Hit me with that one. I'm just me. I'm a monster child of the 70s. I grew up watching horror movies from being a small child. I remember seeing like Abbott and Costello, meet Frankenstein, and then all the classic Universal movies. And I think the first movie I saw in the theater was It's Alive. That's the first one I remember.
Oh wow!
And I was like 4 years old. So I've just been a big fan of horror my whole life, and growing up in an artistic household. Both my parents are artists, and my grandma was an artist. And so I was always obsessed with art, but I had like kind of a dark side. I always drew like skulls and, people getting killed and all this crazy stuff. And, you hear about serial killers like, they drew people getting killed and stuff. And I'm like, oh no.
Am I going down that path? Wow.
Yeah. But no, it turns out that I had an affinity for horror movies. And luckily I happened to land in Los Angeles as a child. And I've been here and being able to work on scary movies and stuff is a great opportunity to kind of play in that dark art kind of world, and I love it.
It's cool, man. I took more than a glance. I did my homework. I just studied your IMDb and went down rabbit holes on your Instagram. All that's going to be listed in the podcast description of this episode, where they can find you and check out your films.
Cool.
And, you have an extensive career, just everything you've done. Going back to when you're a younger man in your childhood, well, what turned you on to TV and film? You touched on some of it, like the Universal Monster movies and Abbott and Costello, but what else were you watching, as a little boy?
All those, but I just said, I've always been a huge fan of good horror movies. I worked just out of high school. I worked in the video department at Music Plus, and wow. I made sure that the horror department was perfectly alphabetized, and I knew every single one of those tapes. Obviously, before DVDs, this was video cassettes, and just I've been a huge fan of all the classics. I'm sorry, I'm just drawing a blank right now.
No worries, that happens, dude.
Yeah.
You said Music Plus, that took me back. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I remember you could rent movies there and then buy cassettes, and then eventually you could buy rent DVDs.
And CDs and laser discs. Don't forget laser discs.
Was it Music Plus, or was it? I mean, no one's going to get this reference besides you and me. It was a Blockbuster Music. They had the listening stations where you could take the CD. And you'd go up to the person that worked there, like, hey, I want to listen to this. And they had like this.
Maybe Tower Records.
It might have been Tower. I don't remember. But you could take the CD and like, hey, I want to listen to this. And the hack was I would do that. And they would open it and they would have to sell the CD at a discount. I'd come back the next day and try to find the same one. It was like, $3 off or whatever. But yeah, Music
Open product.
Right? Music Plus. Wow, man. That takes me back. That and Sam Goody, if anybody remembers that.
Yeah, remember having to rewind tapes.
Yeah, you
before you could watch them.
Right. I think some of my demographic might remember this because I keep track of who listens, and the demographic is ages like 28 to 44, which is a big gap. I'm surprised. I was like, also read in your on your IMDb, it just you were inspired by Lon Chaney Sr. So I'm assuming you were a huge fan of the monster movies. Was it the fact that he played different characters, which you do as well?
I think I was amazed that with limited technology and limited supplies, he had a makeup kit and he turned himself into all these different monsters. Like he literally had his makeup box, and then he would go to, I guess, Universal or wherever the studios were, and there would be a call sheet, and like on the wall he would look, and he'd like, well, we're looking for an Arab with a big scar. So he would go into his kit and put a big scar on his face and, turn his skin, tan, and walk up and say, "Hey, I'm ready for the part." So he would get the parts because he made himself.
Wow.
He turned himself into those characters. Huh. So when I've obviously everybody has their first dabbling with makeup and stuff doing like Halloween and stuff. But what I did was, I was invited to a zombie walk, and I'm like, what's a zombie walk? It sounds great. Uh-huh. And this is about maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It was SoCal Zombies. Yeah. Do you remember, Anthony and SoCal Zombies?
He used to work. I probably ran into him. I don't know him personally, but I probably seen him at some of the meets.
Yeah. So he would always do these charity zombie walks. They were great. They would raise money for cancer, for the F Cancer Foundation, or for schools, and they'd have this huge group of zombies meet up and do like this flash mob. And so I had to figure out how to do my makeup. Mm-hmm. I went and got a little kit and put some makeup on and put some makeup on my kids, and we were running around like monsters. But that was my first kind of experience working like with these in that environment, and having being in character, running around in a place there's not supposed to be zombies and scaring people was really exciting. I'm like, I'm really digging this. So each year I'd practice and expand my kit, get a little bit further into doing the makeup, and I kind of was at a changing point in my life. I had gone through a breakup and had all this time on my hands, and decided that, I really enjoyed putting on, this monster makeup, and I'm pretty good at scaring people. Maybe I can put this two together and, see if I can, turn it into an acting career. So one time I was in some, this is going back to the beginning of 2014.
Okay.
And I had been asked to be a special guest at this film festival called, my gosh, I can't even remember what it's called now.
It happens.
Blanking out on the spot. It was Shockfest.
Shockfest, okay.
Yeah, Shockfest. It was at Raleigh Studios, and they needed a monster to scare guests on the red carpet. So I volunteered for that.
That's cool.
And put on my makeup and stuff. And before that event, I didn't know anybody in the industry, nobody. But I went through and was in character and was taking pictures with everybody. I created a little photo album and tagged every single person in that thing. So before the event, I probably after the event, I probably added maybe 100 new friends, and people that I met on that tagged me into a post saying, "Hey, we're looking for some zombies to finish these pickup shots. Is anybody available?" And somebody tagged me into it that I met at that event. And so I replied to the producer, and he liked my look. I kind of had a vintagey kind of look with a goatee and a mustache. And next thing I know, I'm cast in a Danny Trejo movie called, at the time it was called Volcano Zombies.
Okay.
It said Volcanoes and Zombies. So, but they ended up changing the name to The Burning Dead. And that was one of the first films I got to work on.
Yeah, matter of fact, that's one on my list that I was going to mention. That's crazy, man. It's just, you just went and applied your own makeup. What made you do that? You just took a chance, or you're definitely inspired by Lon Chaney Sr., which I had no idea he was applying his own makeup as he took casting roles. I thought, he went into makeup and had everything done, but the fact that he had his own kit, do you feel like that inspired you to get to the level where you're at?
Absolutely, and to keep going, because not too many actors do that. And I didn't go to makeup school. I watched YouTube videos. Basically, painting on skin is just like painting in person. I went to art school, so it's just a matter of, it's just a different canvas.
That makes sense.
Doing that, I kept wanting to expand my techniques and keep pushing myself to learn. And having all these different monsters available opened up doors for me, and that's how I broke into the business.
Were you looking up to any makeup artists like a Rick Baker, or
absolutely
like a Tom Salvini? Oh God, I'm blanking on the other guys too.
Rob Bottin.
There we go.
Yeah. Actually, it's a really weird story. But I went to high school in Covina.
Okay.
And Northview High School, and apparently our most famous alumni is Rick Baker.
He went to really.
Yeah, he went to Northview High School in Covina.
Holy
graduated
shit.
Class of 69, and I graduated in class of 89. So I go up to him, I said, "So I hear you're a Viking." And he's like, "Yeah, what year?" And so we were like 20 years apart, but there we are.
That's a trip. I grew up in little side town. I grew up in Hassana Heights, so I grew up not too far from you. My dad had a business in West Covina, so okay.
What business was that?
He had a mortgage industry. I mean, mortgage. He worked in the mortgage industry, had his own business. But yeah, I'm a kid from San Gabriel Valley, and somehow ended up out here in Orange County. Somehow, I don't know. I have no idea why.
That's cool. But no. So with Rick Baker growing up in our neighborhood, Rob Bottin is also from our neighborhood.
Holy shit.
Tony Gardner, who did a lot of the Child's Play movies and stuff. Ulterior Ghost Factor, Ulterior is his company. They're all in this neighborhood.
That's funny. This little gene pool of these artists. That's crazy.
Yeah, I never got to meet any of them when I was younger. I knew that they were local, and I wish I probably would have started maybe when I was in my 20s, but I ended up starting in my 40s, and
it's never too late, man. Never too late.
No, it's not.
I started being a scare actor, a haunter, at the age of 42. That was in 2018. I mean,
but the same for us.
It's
I was about the same age.
I mean, yeah, but I'm a campy monster that works a haunt, 6 weeks out of the year. You're doing, you're in legit films on sets.
Well, before I started on any films, I had how do I say it? I always admired all the scare actors, and I always wanted to do that, but having a full-time job and kids and stuff, it's really hard. And
you're right.
Everything was either Universal, which is a long drive, or Not Scary Farm, which is a long drive. And, then their Sting came around in 2013, and Rob Zombie was opening up his own haunt in Pomona.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. So I saw the audition for it. They did it at Scare LA in downtown, and I went and I auditioned, and I got the part of Captain Spaulding.
Holy shit! That's right. That was you. That's right.
Yeah.
You know what? I know this, and I don't know why I blanked on that. I totally forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah. So I was one of a couple Spauldings. There was a couple guys with masks, but I was the one in makeup.
Okay.
And that was one of the greatest jobs I've ever had. I did a couple years of theater, but this was doing, playing that epic character. I had to watch all the movies, learn all the parts, be the character. I was walking Sid's shoes for 6 weeks, and it was amazing. That's cool. That was where I kind of got my first, got my feet wet. But it's a young, as far as I'm concerned, it's a young person's sport. So everybody there was like in their 20s, and I'm in my 40s, and I'm like, I'm exhausted. Didn't have a day off for, I don't even know how long, probably 3 months.
Tell me about it.
And by the time November hit, I slept until December.
I remember the event. It was the All American Nightmare, right?
Yeah, Good American Nightmare.
The Good American. I wanted to go to that, and I can relate. Like after haunt, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to no one. I want to sleep. It's just like, don't bother me. I'm grumpy, which is year round. But even last year, I only worked 2 events. One was a home haunt, Pirates Cave home haunt, when me and Menji worked, and then I worked Cemetery Lane for Black Hat Orange Productions, which is people behind Midsummer Scream over at the Heritage Square Museum. I only worked.
Oh, cool.
Gosh, it was like a 2-week run. It wasn't even that long. And after that, and I was running the podcast, and then going places, and my day job, and then I took some vacation time. But after that, I was like, I don't want to be bothered for the longest effing time.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, it's just, I get it. So it is a young man's game, but you know what? If you're passionate about it, this. You were on set the other day for 10 hours. You're willing to sacrifice. So
yeah, no, you got to do what you got to do. When after working for Rob Zombie, I got to meet a lot of great makeup artists. I got exposed to because they all have day jobs working in the movie business. So the connections that I made there opened up, doors for the future. So I just transferred, putting my energy into that small window into spreading it out over the year. And I literally I'm kind of averaging about 10 movies a year or so, because it's about 7 or 8 years. On my IMDb, it doesn't quite show everything that I've worked on. There's a lot of things that are in pre-production now that I've already started that aren't listed, that I can't necessarily talk about.
Right.
But I've just picked up, these gigs, I'll work a weekend here, weekend there, and been able to maintain a regular full-time job, which I don't want to do. I'm sort of, before the pandemic, I was to the point where I wanted to quit my day job, join the union, and go acting full-time. And I was this close to jumping ship and quitting my job of 20-something years.
Oh, wow.
But things worked out differently, and I'm glad I didn't jump. So now I'm kind of just scaling back and just waiting for this world to settle down. Now things are getting a little crazier, and I just have to take it day by day. And luckily I have a lot of friends in the industry, and like, hey, I got a part for you. I'm like, cool, okay, I'll be there. We just try to make it work. I
saw you had on your IMDb, there's a lot of post-production listings as far as TV and film you've done. I couldn't go through all of it. I narrowed it down to some. I was like, man, this man has done a lot. And then you shared some music videos with me too. I was like, this is fucking badass. This is insane. It's like, you are one busy person. But not to get off topic. Was it the the horror genre films that really caught your attention. I mean, obviously, you probably watched some other stuff too. Like I'm into fantasy and lore and sci-fi and military movies. But was it strictly horror? Like, if it was, like, what movies really caught your attention, or besides like the Universal monsters? Like, were you like a slasher guy, like in John Carpenter's Halloween? Were you like more into like the vampires, like Roman Polanski's vampire films, or were you like into like paranormal? Or it seems like you're more of a creature feature guy based on the characters I see you play.
Yeah, I think I love vampire movies. I have an affinity for vampires. As you the character that you posted for the Creek cast, my mugshot.
Yeah,
that's my character. Noel Ferratu, because I'm Noel and it's like Nosferatu. Right. But that character showed up in a lot of different movies. But I just have this thing for vampire movies. Ever since seeing Lost Boys, I'm like, that's cool. Vampires have to be the coolest of all the monsters because, like, they can run around, they can do all the crazy stuff, and and be immortal.
True, I get it.
Lost Boys, 30 Days of Night.
That's a good
one. Man, that movie changed the whole game of just like, hey, we're stuck here for 30 days, and those vampires were really intense. And
I saw that. They don't even exist, a Hollywood Video. I think I rented it, and I saw this. I'm like, this is an insane movie. Then I discovered it was a graphic novel. And then I went and got that. But that movie was graphic, and then the practical effects really, really good. Yeah, gory movie.
Yeah, they were just, the monsters were insane.
Yeah.
Especially the one leader, they were just on a different level. I'd never seen anything like that before. And then if you go into the zombie movies, like Reanimator,
Mm-hmm.
everything Stuart Gordon did was just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
28 days. Is it 28 days?
I think 28 days.
28 days later.
And then 28 weeks later is the second one.
Yeah.
Those two.
That sounds right.
Those ones mind fucked me. I'm sorry. Yeah, they were horrible.
No, they were.
I mean, not horrible, like horrible in a good way. Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen zombies like run like in full speed, like.
That blew my mind. Like even like World War Z, that's like no, they're supposed to be slow. Yeah. It's like brains. No, that's all moving fast. I saw one recently, Japanese film, Train to
Busan.
That one blew my fucking mind. I was like, I'm never riding the train ever again. I'm not going. Remind me not to go to Japan with this guy. It's like,
it's actually Korean.
It's Korean. I'm sorry. I thought it was. It was a Japanese film.
It was Korean. Yeah.
Really?
Busan's a city in the south of Korea.
Oh well, fuck me. I just fucked up. Okay.
They
Korean.
both operate on train systems.
Okay.
So yeah, either way.
Yeah, that was that. I think there's a second one too. There's a
something Peninsula. Was the sequel?
Yeah, that movie fucked me up. I saw it a couple of days ago. I'm like, no, it's the way they turn so fast. I was like, they're supposed to be slow, like in Night of the Living Dead. I was
right. You feel like you get no chance with those kind.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's game over. If you're in, we make eye contact, you're done.
I was so used to like it's Rick when he was hungover and when he was 20, just the zombies, moving 2 steps at a time. Then you can bash them in the head, but. They came out with these hybrid, fast. They even had like parkour skills. I'm like, really? When did they learn how to jump from building to building? That's insane. Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, they're hungry. They're hungry and they're motivated. But then you got movies like Shaun of the Dead.
Right.
Shaun of the Dead is like so much fun, and they're drinking and partying and making jokes about the whole thing and running around taking selfies with them, and so you can still have fun with them.
As a were you involved in middle school or high school in like maybe drama or theater classes at all? No.
I was a total. I was super shy, complete introvert. I barely had to, It wasn't until later in high school that I kind of came out of my shell a little bit. But I was still terrified. I wanted to be in a band and sing, and I like froze on stage, and I had total stage fright at 18, 19. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't either. I could know. I don't like attention. Like I don't like pictures. I don't like video. But then like you put me in monster makeup, you give me that armor, I have no problem being a character.
No, it's different. Isn't it weird?
Right.
I mean, once you get into character, you can do anything, and people allow you to do it. It's like, oh, they want to get scared. You just got to be careful and not get too close because you don't want to get punched.
Yeah, you don't want to get arm's distance.
Yeah, exactly. You learn to bounce back, bob and weave.
It's just funny because I was semi of an introvert, but like I everything was in my head, or I was writing things in short stories or whatever. And when I discovered, when I was a kid, like games like Dungeons and Dragons, which we play to this day.
That's awesome.
We get to act out and role play and be this like heroic character, or like this magic user, or like whatever. And then when I got into haunting in 2018, I got to be like this fictional character I created in my head with the loose template that was given to me. And I'm like, I could build on this, like, this platform and make the character more immersive or interactive with the guest, or I was given, hey, you're going to do this, do whatever you want. Okay. And I built from that character. Like when we first met, me and Emmanuel, I was in full prosthetic makeup as like this handsome rockabilly devil, like with a huge pompadour and like a Letterman's jacket and fangs and stupid one-liners. And he was filming his YouTube videos
channels
at Midsummer Scream in 2019. And so that's how we met. He didn't even know what I looked like.
Yeah, you were my own Monty Revolta for the longest time.
And so finally we started interacting, and then he came on the podcast when I first started it. And he's helped me so much with the podcast just because he's a sound guy. He knows voice, he knows audio. So yeah, but even then I'm on the showroom floor in Midsummer Scream. I'm like, this is overwhelming. So I was like, well, no one knows it's you. So some people did, but no one knew. And I was like, hey, how's it going? These stupid Beetlejuice one-liners and just, and I'm already 6'4" as it is. And I was wearing boots that had a 2-inch lift. And I had like this giant pompadour with,
about 7 feet tall with hair.
Yeah. And then like a red Letterman's jacket and like in cuffed up jeans and Harley boots and just like this horrible, like we call nails. And I was just messing with people. And I saw him with a camera. I'm like, look at this guy. And so I just started.
I gotta go back and look at my photos. We probably took a picture together and didn't
we
even
might
know.
have. Where were you dressed as that day in 2019?
That was the last one before the world changed.
Yeah.
So I think that was the year that I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think I might have been on the poster for that event.
Oh,
so rewind a year before, I would work with Boneyard Effects, and I was part of the Addams Family photo op. And
you were Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
I remember 2017. I remember that.
Was it 2017?
2017. You guys were stationed outside of the Hall of Shadows.
Okay, well then it must have been 20. Okay, then it was the next year. I didn't want to take 3,000 pictures because it was just too much work. Uh-huh. My jaw hurt, like smiling all day. So I guess it was 2018 that I went. If that was 17, then David Markland had me as a guest, and I went one day with my son, and we were just hanging out and everything. And then I showed up in makeup on Sunday. And I was the Noel Fratu character, and we got to meet Elvira and took a picture with her, and she shared it on her part of her Elvira army.
No, that's cool.
But I was a vampire on the Sunday of 2018, but I don't know about 19. I'm trying to think if I even made it there or not.
That was the year. It was a tiki theme.
Tiki theme inside tiki. the Hall of Shadows.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
We wouldn't have crossed paths on Sunday because Saturday I did. His name was Louis C. Fur. He was the rockabilly handsome devil, and I was there all day in makeup. And then the next day, I was working and I've told the story a million times. I know my ADD. I was working the Ready or Not experience with Sinister Point, which was like a horror version of like not Trick or Treat, of hide and seek. And I was working actually in that attraction inside. I played one of the monsters. We probably wouldn't have crossed paths unless you went inside the attraction.
Yeah. I'm just trying, because when you're in convention mode, it's hard because so many people, like my kids hate going to conventions with me because they like it, but they don't like me talking to all my friends. They're like, Dad, all you do is talk all day.
You got to network and hey, shake hands and kiss babies. It's just like a politician. You're going to see people.
Yeah, I can't walk 5 feet without running into someone I know. So I just sit there and let them run around, and they do their thing, and come back for money. And I'm like, okay, we're hanging out. But it's hard when you're in convention mode to connect with everybody, right, and see everything. And I'll go through the entire day, and then I'll go back and look at people's pictures. I'm like, I can't believe I missed you. How did we miss each other?
You figure you have time for everything because you're there all day, but you don't. It's just
no.
And you're exhausted. Like I was wiped out, and then I got food poisoning, not there, but somewhere else. And then I told the story before. I had my audition for Not Scary Farm that following Monday at 8 a.m. And then I woke up Sunday late evening, early Monday morning, and it was coming out of both ends. And I'm like, I'm not going to this audition. But I got to work at Dark Harbor that year, so which is fine. So
Dark Harbor's fun.
It was fun.
My friend Isaac Cruz used to work there.
Isaac, that son of a, you know what? I'm gonna text him right now.
Your money?
No, it's just we got casted together in Feast, and he was the practical joker, and we'd always like pull pranks on each other, and just I got
he's great.
Him. Yeah, he's a big teddy bear. It's just
I worked with him at Rob Zombie.
That's right. He worked there too. Cool dude. Small world. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No, he was one of the guys in the front, kind of getting everybody ready as they went into Murder Ride. So yeah, he was kind of my security and comic relief.
We almost got in trouble. We were up to shenanigans at a Dark Harbor, messing with guests in the queue line, and I told the story a million times, but it was Isaac. I never even said his name, but people know now it was Isaac. We were heckling the people in the queue line to get into the maze. We worked in the Feast maze together, and cool dude. That's funny. I'm gonna text him later on and tell him, hey, look who's on the podcast. Anywho, to backtrack a little bit, as a young boy, for Halloween, what kind of costumes were you wearing? Or like, did you do your own makeup? Like, what were you doing for Halloween as a kid?
The first one that I remember, because I think everybody had those. I don't know the name, but everybody had those cheesy plastic masks with the plastic suit and the little thin rubber band.
It was probably like a Ben Cooper costume. That came
exactly.
In the little cardboard box.
Like the Dracula or something cheesy.
Right.
Now we look back, I'm like, oh, they're so nostalgic and cool. But sometime in the late 70s or early 80s, maybe 1980 itself, 80, 81. I'm trying to think if my brothers were born yet. There was something called, I think it was called The Face, and they sold it at the drugstore, and it was like this do-it-yourself prosthetic kit. It was cheesy styrofoam, and you would cut it out, and it was a vacuum formed flexible foam that had little tiny glue strips. And I sat there and I turned myself into Frankenstein. So it had a forehead and some neck bolts, and then I painted my face and everything. And that was the first time I ever did my own makeup and stuff. And there's somewhere there's one photograph of me, for Halloween. But that The Face is what it was called. And I think at one of the conventions, it might have been Monsterpalooza, they had a panel, and the people from The Face were there with their 40-year anniversary or something to that effect. And I was able to tell them the story. I said, hey, I used your product when I was a little kid, and now I do special effects and I work in movies. So thank you for, inspiring me you were the first makeup kit that I ever used.
I think I remember The Face. They had like a Frankenstein, and there was like a devil that had like the elongated chin, the little horns.
Yeah.
And it came like in a vacuum mold package.
Yeah.
And it had the little palette.
Like a shoebox.
Like a shoebox, right? It had the little palette with different paints. And I think it was like just grease paint maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like this. There was a skull one.
I always wanted to get those, but I was never that talented to paint, and my parents wouldn't put it on me. That's just.
Oh.
But
so that was the first one I remember doing. After that, I don't really remember. Trying to think. I just did just cheesy stuff. I never really got like put on a mask or something. Like in high school, I think I had a werewolf mask. I was kind of like Teen Wolf with a leather jacket. But nothing. I didn't get into like the vampire thing until I grew my hair out. And then I had a friend that did special effects, and he made some vampire fangs for me. So
that's cool.
We had a bunch of friends with long hair and fangs and like running around like Lost Boys in Hollywood. But this is like in the early 90s.
I remember as a kid, you mentioned the reference to the Ben Cooper costumes. As a kid, we'd ride our bikes to Thrifty's drugstore. Now it's Rite Aid.
Yeah.
And you'd walk in, the whole place was decorated, like toe to toe, just decorated from top to bottom, Halloween decoration everywhere. And it'd be the horrible like Dracula impression. It's like, bleh, Thrifty's for all your Halloween needs, bleh. And it was just like, that was the coolest fucking thing.
Yeah,
and then you'd go down the aisle and they'd have like all their Halloween decor and costumes, and it was the Ben Cooper costumes, which was like the plastic like window, and you saw the mask, and then like those like the vinyl shirt, like tunic. It was like a tunic. And I remember I had the G.I. Joe one. I had Alien from the Alien movie, and then I had Casper. And my mom, why Casper? Like, I want to be something spooky. And you'd go there, and then it was the coolest effing thing because the whole store was decorated, and it was like an adventure to ride your BMX bike there, or your parents would take you. Heaven forbid they spend $5 on you for a costume, you know. But it was
not like today. Now costumes are like, Dad, I need $100.
Yeah, Immortal masks, which I love, but I can't afford those. It's just, I want to buy full.
The best, but they're like $300, $600, $700, $1,000.
I'll just buy my mask, my costume at a spook show. You know, the Halloween Club, a $50 mask. You know, and it's 80% off. You know.
Yeah, I'm nostalgic. I'm not nostalgic for those smock and plastic masks so much as I'm nostalgic for the prices.
Right.
Back when I was a kid, it was $4.95, and you could get an ice cream for 25 cents.
Thrifties, that's just my childhood. Like just going there during Halloween. It's just like, and I grew up in a spooky neighborhood in San Gabriel Valley too. Like everyone decorated. I grew up minutes from the Point of Hills Mall where they filmed Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
And so
it's weird. We were just on the opposite side of the valley. Yeah, because I was in Covina.
We would ride our bikes to the Point Hills Mall, and they would have like the Halloween parade there. You could go trick or treating in the mall, and like the neighborhood close to the mall, like everyone decorated. And That's then cool. We snuck out and we saw the production. We didn't get to see the actual filming, but we saw some of them, like them prepping to film the night scenes at the mall for Back to the Future. Until I think we got chickened out, and then we rode our bike. It was like midnight. We snuck out. We rode our bikes down. Yeah. So you mentioned you worked the Rob Zombie Haunted Attraction event.
Yeah.
And then you worked in 2020. That was at the Joe Bob's Haunted Drive-In as well.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Anything else you worked besides those two?
Those are the two big haunts that I worked. As far as an organized like thing, I was approached when the pandemic hit. A friend of mine says, "Hey." There was nothing to do, so a lot of us started frequenting the Mission Tiki Drive-In. And every Thursday night, they were doing like killer back to double features with all these great movies and showing like Terminator and all these like great horror movies and just weird stuff. And it was part of Beyond Fest. I think.
Beyond Fest. Yeah.
So my friends and I were frequently that all the time. And my buddy's like, "Hey, you go to the drive-in all the time. How much would it take for me to get you to show up in zombie makeup?" We're going to film like a little, I can't tell you what it is, but we're going to film a little video. We're going to sneak up on someone and scare them in their car. Just think of it like a YouTube video. I'm like, sure, I'll do it. You know, so I'm sitting there putting makeup on in the drive-through waiting to get in. And everybody's like, "What character are you supposed to be? That's not Terminator." And I'm just like, we're playing a prank on somebody. Well, that video turned out to be a pitch video for Joe Bob Briggs. And then I was brought on board. Christian Ackerman was the one producing that. And I was brought on board, and we did all the commercials, and we filmed part of a sequence in the movie. And I did all my own makeup for all that stuff. Ended up being the poster child for the event.
I saw that ad. It was pretty cool, man.
It was a lot of fun. It was kind of overwhelming because we didn't know how it was all going to come together. The first few nights were in Torrance, I think, I think it was Torrance, near Torrance, at this old drive-in that apparently hadn't been working for a long time, but they had the most awesome screen, and they brought in these digital projectors, and the screen was huge. It was beautiful, and it was a limited crowd. It was like maybe 250 cars. It was super, super fun. And then the next one, they transferred over to the Rose Bowl, and that was an inflatable screen. So they had two inflatable screens, and the field, it was just because it was like a first time event. The place, it was really, really big. So kind of the cars that were kind of in the back didn't get as good a view as the cars in the front. But I was sort of the zombie wrangler for the event.
Okay.
Isaac was working that event too. And we got to, we had a small horde of zombies and we tried to get to every single car and scare them and stuff. But the city of Pasadena put all these restrictions on us. They said we wanted to get right up in their faces, but they wouldn't let us. They said, "Oh, must be 6 feet away.
Oh, come on.
Do not enter any cars. Do not touch anybody. Do not touch any cars. If we see you, we're going to shut down the production, blah, 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 blah."
Wow.
So we're sitting there like, okay, what are we going to do? So they said kind of the plan was the last 20 minutes at a certain point in the movie, let them all have it, So what are they going to do? Going to cancel the event?
Right.
So smart. So everybody's like complaining and like, this sucks and the zombies are so far away. So what we did is we lowered their guard like that, and then we all went to the back and then snuck up on behind them and just creep up on their cars and just jumping on everybody, and it got a lot of good screams, and it was fun, but it was like I think like 800 cars. It was ridiculously huge. It was,
wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of ground to cover. So I think I probably lost about 20 pounds running back and forth all night.
You drop that haunt weight. Happens every season for some of us. Yeah.
Then I gained it back for COVID.
Right. Tell me about it. 2 notes. Mission Tiki Drive-In in its border Claremont, Pomona. This is going to be their last year. The property got sold.
Yeah, to Amazon.
Me and the girlfriend just went recently to go see Scream, the Scream remake. And they got these cool little like tiki like sippy cups. We tried to buy as many as we could.
They're cool.
We went in 2020. We went to the Los Angeles Haunted Hayride, the drive-in experience.
Mm-hmm.
I bought I prepaid for some merch and all that, and I got her a necklace on purpose that lit up. Like it was like jack-o'-lanterns or something. I don't know, whatever. And so I kind of knew, and I heard through people that work in the industry. They're like, hey, monsters are going to mess with certain people, particularly if they're really skittish or they stick out or they wear like glow sticks and stuff. I'm like, okay. So some of the merch, I got her like a tote bag. I got us, I think, shirts and like pre-ordered candy and all that. And so she put all the little glow sticks like around her wrist and her neck. I'm like, yes, put it on. Put it all on. I was like, wait till the monsters see you. And so this is like, I think this is why like Monty Revolta, who was like, the owner of the drive-in at Midnight Falls, we're driving past, like, it was like an ice cream truck, and he's on a mic and he's speaking, and he looks at me. We've had interactions in the past. And he points at me like he recognizes me, and I'm like, oh shit, Monty's right there. Oh, son of a. So we park, and I paid not for VIP, but like the package below. So we're like literally second row up against the screens. And driving in, you see all the facades and the haunt walls and all that stuff, like, 13th floor built, and they got some Sinister Point stuff as well. I recognized. I'm like, oh, look at that. Oh my God. And you see the monsters start running around scaring people. So I roll down all 4 windows of my car. And she's like, why are you rolling down the windows? I'm like, well, because we're here. Don't you want some fresh air? You can smell the fog,
It's getting hot inside.
So she's like literally sitting like, she's going to kill me. She's like sitting like sideways in her seat. And she's like every 5 minutes looking over her shoulder. And like some monsters came up to us and like, ugh. One monster had like a prosthetic hand, like on a stick. It would stick the hand like into the car.
10-foot reach.
Right. And just we were dying. Like I was cracking up. You saw Monty occasionally run around, like the music videos played and they showed the short films. They had dudes like on stilts, chainsaws, guys running around. But the funniest thing was, besides her being terrified, the car next to us, you could tell there was like a dad who brought like his daughter and like her friends to like the drive-in, and the dad was like, he was laughing the entire time. It was like a sleepover, and they brought him, hey, let's go to the hayride. Yeah. 2 monsters purposely kept like bombarding this car, like just kept attacking them, like sneaking up with chainsaws, crawling on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, there they go. These girls were screaming, and the monster would pop up in front of the front of the car, and they're like, ah! He would just stand there with a chainsaw. And then my girlfriend looks like, she said, why does that monster look like Corey Taylor from Slipknot? Like he had the hair. And so we refer to the monster. Hey, there's Corey Taylor, because the guys from Slipknot wear costumes.
Yeah.
He just had like a blue jumpsuit, like a generic mask.
Yeah.
So we keep referring to this monster as Corey Taylor from Slipknot. So I'm like, look, there goes Corey Taylor. And you seem like he's crawling on the floor to get to the car. And
like super into it.
They had a sunroof, this car. And so like the stilt monsters were like, oh, reaching in.
Reaching down.
And then like there was a little person. He was dressed like a bellhop. And he had like a cheesy horn. He went up to the car and was like, They were screaming their heads off.
Sure.
I found that more entertaining than anything. We were dying. It was a cool event. I dug it. I dug the drive-in thing. We never got to go to yours. Joe Bob's the Haunted Drive-In. Just we were so much going on, and I was working as well, 1870 Haunt Manor. But that was a blast.
It's funny, but isn't it sadistic though when you get a good scream like that? When you know you got the good scare, and most of the time people are on their phones and they're so distracted, they're just focused on whatever's right in front of them. So you can walk right up and just boom and nail them, and just I don't know. I think there's something sadistic in me that thrives off of that fear, the actual fear.
There's something about getting people scared. There's the people that love it, and there's the people that like you can tell by their body language. They're anticipating to come. They don't want to look. And those are the ones I go up to and I'm like, hey, where do you think you're going? And that's all I say. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, the best I've told this before. Like I hear someone say, oh my God, Noel, what's going on in here? I'm like, okay, one of them's named Noel. And I jump up, I'm like, who's Noel? And they're like, oh, I probably modulated that mic, but I'll yell on purpose. But the scare, it just, to me, it was always like the body language. Sometimes I go to them like, hey, where do you think you're going? I was like, get over here, or just whatever stupid lines I'd say. But yeah, just getting those people that pop scare, and sometimes I'd have to look away and just like keep myself from laughing, or just I can't do that all day. That hurts my throat. But
my throat's gone. All these years of snoring.
I mean, I'm a screamer, and then I think I'm more of like an atmospheric character. So and I'm not a slider. Obviously, I'm too big of a dude. So
yeah. I don't know how those guys do that with their knees.
Yeah, that's another world. The haunters, the sliders, and all that. Anywho, I think we're at a stopping point right now. We're going to take probably a quick little break. Definitely come back. We're going to talk about your movie career, your films, TV, any future projects. And then, like I said, I end every episode with a fantasy question, and I got one for you. I think I got a pretty good one. But this is episode 25 with Noel Jason Scott, character actor, producer, self-taught makeup artist, cosplayer, just generally nice guy. And we'll be right back.
The Creepcast, hosted by Rick Creeper 11.
Don't you dare try to escape. The Creepcast with Rick Creeper shall return.
Hey everybody, this is Rick Creeper 11 from the Creepcast podcast. Once again, you're hearing my voice because we're talking about vampfangs.com. Yes, vampfangs.com. Vampfangs has been established since 1993 out of Salem, Massachusetts, New England's only vampire shop. That sounds kind of spooky. Host of the Endless Night Salem's Vampire Ball. I can speak about this personally because I've purchased things from them. Some of the various haunts or like horror cosplay photo shoots that I've done, I've acquired my fangs, more importantly, my contacts, which are FDA compliant, approved, and verified from your eye doctor, is shipped here in the good old US of A. So they came through for me. I've had bad experiences with other companies where contacts weren't the greatest quality, or they're shipped overseas, so either they were really bad quality or just didn't arrive here on time. So Vampfangs was definitely a lifesaver, but they have other things as well. I already mentioned special effect contacts. They have special effect makeup, fangs, apparel, sunglasses, bags, fragrances, chokers, you name it. Everything is based out of Salem, Massachusetts, and they've got a cool little store over there. Check them out, vampfangs.com online or at Vampfangs Official at Instagram. Tell them Rick Creeper sent you. You guys will love it. Trust me. Check them out. Vampfangs Official, Instagram. Have a good one, guys. Take care.
Where do you think you're going? There is no escape from the Creepcast with Rick Creeper.
You're listening to the Creepcast.
Okay, guys, we're back at it. Episode 25. What the hell was that? That was a weird intro.
You don't. Did you want to redo that?
No, it's good. I'll just
good?
keep this.
Okay.
I'm so used to, hey guys, this is, because you guys always make fun of me. You're like, hey guys, this is Rick Reaper. We're back with the Creepcast. So monotone and robotic. Jeez. Anyways, episode 25. We're back at it. New season for 2021, and we're here with an amazing man by the name Noel Jason Scott, character actor, cosplayer, makeup artist, spooky dude, handsome devil. What else am I missing?
Just all around good guy.
There we go. Yes. Oh my. And then we have co-host Menji Speak, voiceover artist extraordinaire, Twitch. What else do we do?
Oh, this is a YouTube channel.
And what else?
Did we not mention that? Oh, well, I voice act.
What else?
Yeah. There's more. I played D&D.
This is the time to promote yourself.
Twitch. That you kind of named everything. I
Okay.
think.
Oh
yeah.
my.
No.
Oh my. Yes.
Can you say something for me? Say, hello, Sydney.
Hello, Sydney.
Perfect.
Yes.
Let's
What's your favorite scary movie?
we're gonna do a couple of voices really quick.
Oh boy.
Who
Okay.
are we gonna do right now?
What do you want? What are you looking for?
You want to do our D&D characters?
There's not much to mine, but we can do it. Your character's far more of a voice than mine is.
So we play. We're gonna do this with another episode as well. So let's just do some random voices.
Okay.
The one voice I do here. Don't put me on the spot. I'm embarrassed now.
I didn't
Jeez.
do this. This is your idea.
Okay, so what seems to be the problem there, young man?
It's our bard. I think he's communing with the devil.
I don't know.
I thought we were going to do a thing.
Jesus. I drew a blank. We'll save it for another episode. Anyways, he's an amazing voiceover artist, and when we play Dungeons and Dragons, we do voices as well. The thing is, it sounds like me doing a horrible British accent, or
See, but I like that. I like because that's how a lot of cartoon character voices come about. Is somebody doing a bad impersonation of like a celebrity, and then that just becomes the voice for that specific character. So your voice is your character. I can't hear anybody but Thaddeus with that voice.
That's just terrible.
It's unique. I like it.
When I worked at Cemetery Lane, I got casted as a old timey train conductor who passed away in 1941. So it was more of an early American accent. Mm-hmm. And over time, the voice developed. But when I first started, and I said this in the last episode, it was very George Takei. It's like, oh my. I was like, welcome to Cemetery Lane. I'm like,
Oh my.
it was, oh God. And then towards the end of the run, I'm like, hello, young man. What is your name? And I was like, very, just a little more, I guess.
More proper, it was more of a character at that point.
And I'm like, excellent, young man. I'm all, hello, my dear. What is your name? Are you here for the trick or treat experience? Yes, excellent. Stuff like that. There was a stupid, I think the Guinness commercials, the Guinness beer.
Ah, yeah.
Brilliant. Yes, I found the inspiration from those. But yeah, the voices. I'm like, oh my God. I saw the YouTube videos I came out on. I'm like, oh God, that's just terrible. The voices. So I'm gonna leave the voices to him because he's the voiceover artist, not me. So
Voices are tricky. They can either set the tone or pull you right out.
I always make a
Absolutely.
manual. I always make a manual do this. I make him do the the theme park announcements, but in Spanish. So we did one for what was it, the fireworks show at Disney?
Yeah, it was Disneyland fireworks.
Give Nola an example.
Esta noche, si quiere ver a los fireworks, por favor, venga a la Castillo a las 9 de la noche. En Main Street, USA.
We were at I think at Not Scary Farm, and he was doing the voices but in Spanish, and then who's we're rambling. Anyways, that's not about us. I'm sorry.
Anyways,
so we're here for Mr. Noel Jason Scott. So my next question for you, we're gonna refer to your film credits, and
Okay.
I haven't narrowed it down to some. I mean, you have accredited right now over 74 films and TV, not including music videos. And some of the movies that I came across were like Amityville Rising. Oh, geez, what else? Hell of the Screaming Undead. You did Joe Bob's Haunted Drive-In. Mm-hmm. The one I dig is A Dead Dame in Hollywood, where you played Police Chief Redfern. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, I believe that was my name.
Then Lilith, and then this one. I love the title on this one, dude. Check it out. Bloodsucker Jones versus the Creeping Death.
yeah, that one's probably my favorite.
Right.
It's a fun movie.
And not sucker, but sucker. I said Bloodsucker
Sucker.
Jones.
Oh yeah.
Bloodsucker Jones versus the Creeping Death.
And then The Unhandyman, Killjoy's Psycho Circus,
Yep. That's a full moon.
Monsterland, Tales of Halloween. Was that something that John Carpenter was involved with? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No. Tales of Halloween was a group of directors, 11 directors,
Okay.
got together and wrote 10 short stories.
Okay.
And it was put together by Mike Mendez, who's famous for Lavalantua, Big Ass Spider, Don't Kill It. So he and a bunch of his friends put that one together.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. Have you seen Tales of Halloween?
I've seen it, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember your character until you brought it up after.
Okay. Yeah. So that was 10 short stories, 10 stories that take place on Halloween, all in the same town in the same neighborhood, and they all kind of interconnect on some level.
Right.
I was in the episode This Means War, which is about these two feuding neighbors. One neighbor was classic Universal, played by Dana Gould, and the other neighbor was more like Rob Zombie, like, just crazy and insane and really loud. And that was played by James Duvall, who's famous for Donnie Darko. He was, I think, the rabbit in Donnie Darko. But Dana Gould was on The Simpsons, and it was a lot of fun. So they were battling back and forth, and I was one of the neighbors. Kind of more of like atmospheric background, but I got featured in it.
Okay,
and that was the first time Noel Ferratu made an on-screen appearance.
That's right, Noel Ferratu. Yeah, that, which is the picture I used in the artwork for this episode. Well, I love the characters. It's very classic. It's in black and white. It's pretty cool.
Thanks. That's something I've been trying to. He's made appearances in. I talk about him like he's a different person. He's made appearances in all these different movies. It wasn't me, but no. For Jennifer, he makes an appearance, and a couple other movies. I'm running around in the background doing that character, but there'll be more of Noel Ferratu coming soon.
Nice, very nice. So, Tales of Halloween, The Burning Dead, which we mentioned earlier off mic, and then correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it was on mic.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, my memory's
horrible. That was one of my first films.
That's right. It was my mistake. Kill 'Em All L.A. the TV series.
Yep, Kill 'Em All Los Angeles. It was a web series.
And then House of Manson, which you played a patrolman, I believe.
Patrolman Purcell. I was the one who caught Charles Manson.
There we go. Yeah, this is just.
That was my second movie.
This is just some of the stuff. Yeah, that was one of your first films. Actually, it's listed here in your IMDb. You have so many that listed in your IMDb. This is just a handful. What I grabbed, stuff that's been out and stuff that's in post production and pre production. It's crazy how you have the time to do all this, man.
It's one of these things. The reason I like working in film is because, like, doing theater, you dedicate 6 to 8 weeks of your life. You go to rehearsals over and over and over and over. And if once the play starts, you got like a weekend or a couple weeks of shows. And if you didn't make it to the show, it's gone and no one will ever remember. But when you work on film, it's immortalized. It lasts forever. Good or bad, it sticks around. It has a legacy to it. So that's why I wanted to put my energy towards working on film. And, I might give up, a Saturday or Sunday or work, take a day off of work and work on a film. But, that's just one day out of my life. And now I look back and I'm like, I don't know how I've done so many films in such a short amount of time. And that's just doing it part-time. I think it's with the makeup credits and other stuff that I've produced. I think I'm over 80 credits now, but I'm not really counting. I'm just, as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm just starting. I really feel like I've just barely got my feet wet and I'm ready to go, launch headfirst into this.
Nice, man. At what point in your life you took the first step towards TV and film? Like you knew this was it. Like you crossed that threshold. You're like, well, if I'm going to do it, this is where it needs to happen.
So that's a multifaceted thing. And so I'm going to go through it as seamlessly as possible. Like I mentioned before, being super shy and timid as a younger person, I attempted acting at a much younger age. I was in early 20s and worked as an extra, and I was in the movie Airheads. in the very, very beginning, or not very beginning, when it was one of the long hair guys in the club.
Oh my god!
And
I gotta go back and watch that now.
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, so when the Sons of Thunder get their record deal, they're walking through, and there's Hawaiian Tropic girls, and Joe Mantegna is sitting there downing some Pepto-Bismol. He's like, "Hey, ladies, can we get a couple drinks over here?" He walked past me, and I'm like, "Urgh." They dubbed a voice on me. They give me a voice, and
I'm
you know,
sorry.
I said in the movie, and you know, I never got credit for it. It was just an extra gig, but that was the first thing I'd ever worked on.
Nice.
Worked on a couple episodes of. I was on 90210 for one episode as a college student. One episode of Melrose Place.
Nice, man.
Just background stuff. And a TV show called Crisis Center, and that was the most intense because it was TV shows are really fast. They're very fast paced, and I had no idea what I was doing or anything. But it wasn't for me at the time. You know, it paid $5 an hour, and I was just like, I needed real money. I mean, we can't spend all day and only get $40, but that's 8 hours back then. Then I got sidetracked with life, had kids, went through a divorce. And after my divorce, I had all this time on my hands, and I decided, you know, I want to take a stab at acting again. I think, you know, this would be fun. And, you know, I found a copy on VHS of Airheads, and I put it on the TV and showed it to my kids. And my kids are like, "You're not in that movie." Like that. And then they saw it, and they're like looking at me, and they're looking at the TV, and they're looking at me, and they're like, "Whoa." And so seeing my kids just awestruck that I was in a movie, that did it for me. No more than anything, I wanted to be their hero. And that got me inspired to get back into acting. And then we started doing zombie walks, and, you know, here we are now.
Look at you now. You're on a horrible podcast talking about your movie.
I know, it's awesome. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries, dude. That's insane, man.
I don't want to freak you out, but I know this isn't on video, but you have Phantom of the Opera right above your head.
Oh yeah,
on the wall, and you know, I have the same I have the Red Mask of Death scene. It's one of my favorite paintings, or one of my favorite images. Dude, I love that movie.
I grew up in Universal Monsters. Just went to Universal Studios, black and white films. My dad, my grandparents, you know, discovered other, you know, then I got an infatuation with the boogeyman, Michael Myers, and just, you know, I cosplay as him occasionally, and I have him tattooed on me. But yeah, Universal, just that's for me, man. I'm not a big gore guy, but like I appreciate. I'm not a fan of Friday the 13th or like Texas Chainsaw. And to be
kind of overkill.
Yeah,
a little overkill for you.
Little much. I like the gothic horrors, like something like what's the Toro movie, Crimson Peak. To me, that's just that's a beautiful movie. People are like, I don't like, that's not horror. It's gothic horror. It's gothic romance. I like that. But then, like, I don't like Twilight. I've never seen a single movie of Twilight ever.
I don't even know if I could categorize that.
I don't know what that horror is, man. I don't know what the hell that is.
It's sparkle.
Yeah. Sparkly.
It's sparkle.
I can totally.
But apparently, that guy's doing really, really great as the new Batman.
That's what I heard.
Good things.
Rave reviews.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on it's the Riddler who's the villain.
I think there's supposed to be multiple villains, but he's like the main one.
I don't like the costume of the Riddler. Maybe because I'm an old Batman 68 fan.
66.
66. You know, I like the Riddler outfit, the onesie with the
Frank Gorham or Frank
Gorshman.
Gorshman, there we go.
Gorsham.
Yeah, and then
he was.
You know, Cesar Romero, that's like my spirit animal right there. The horrible pompadour, and like you can see his thin mustache through the makeup. And
painted, yeah. He insisted on not shaving.
Yeah.
He wouldn't shave, so they just put the makeup right over it, and it was just even more wicked.
What's weird, and we had this discussion before, me and Menji, it's just he was very pronounced and Victorian with his accent, and as the Joker, I'm like, why is the Joker so well spoken?
There's a lot of this because all those guys were like classically trained actors, aside from maybe Burt Ward.
Yeah,
like they were all classical actors, and so they just kind of brought it, and they just took what they knew and kept, you know, because even he was a leading man for the longest time.
Yeah, he was like a real actor.
Yeah, he was like, oh.
Then he played the Joker, and he applied his own makeup as well. I seen photos of him applying his own makeup over his his Cuban mustache. It's just hilarious, and just
and other people also came out of that. Sid Haig was one of the henchmen with the King Tut.
He was, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember Vincent Price was Egghead.
Price is Egghead.
Egghead.
It was so bad.
Excellent.
Yeah,
All his egg puns.
I love those as a kid. Oh my gosh. But
Yeah, no, they were great. I got to meet Adam West when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
really?
Yeah, my dad took me to the. I'm originally from Milwaukee, and he took me to the car show in Milwaukee, and they had the Batmobile, and he got to meet Batman and Adam West. And I had, for the longest time, I had an autographed picture. It was signed from one crime fighter to another, and it signed
cool.
Batman, and it said Adam West on it.
That's awesome.
It's somewhere in my stuff. I got to find it. It's my most prized possession from being a child.
That is
Getting
so
to meet
cool.
Adam West.
That's really awesome.
So what was, besides The House of Manson, what was one of your very first roles in film?
Doing my own makeup, that kind of opened up some doors.
Uh-huh.
So depending on what the project was, Mike Mendez, I mentioned, he was on one of the main organizers of Tales of Halloween. And when I came on set and I was in the Noel Fratu character, they had saw me in character and everything, and everything was already kind of pre-set up. But Mike noticed me and said, "Hey, I'm going to use you for another movie coming up." We exchanged numbers, became friends, and I would get a random email and says, "Hey, I'm going to be." What he does is he casts all his friends in certain parts of the movie, and like you go through the whichever film it is, and you'll see all his friends dying in different scenes. And he's like, "Hey, I want you to do something, not a vampire, but I was thinking like a 3-armed zombie or something, and you could like have a detached arm, and it's for a giant spider movie." And it turned out to be Lavalantula. And so I got to work on that and work with CGI. They had like a foam bat that was my target, and we filmed at the Egyptian theater, and I got to battle giant fire-breathing tarantulas and get killed on screen on that movie.
That's pretty cool.
It wasn't until I met John Machago, and he is famous for working on a lot of the Puppet Master movies, and he invited me to come on board a film that he was doing called oh Lord, I'm supposed to remember this.
It happens.
Feast of Fear. It had a couple different titles, but I think it ended up becoming called Feast of Fear. And Clint Howard was in it, and it had a pretty huge cast. It took a long time for that film to be done, but there was this scene with all these crazy demons and stuff, and I got to do my own makeup, and he really enjoyed me doing my own makeup, and so that he brought me back for Puppet Master. No, sorry, not Puppet Master. Killjoy's Psycho Circus, and I played Psycho number 1, and I got to do my own makeup and everything, and it was great. We had laser blasters, and we got to shoot people. It felt like more like being in a Star Wars film. It was fantastic.
Sounded cool.
And then he ended up casting me again. He was writing the next installment for the Puppet Master franchise, which was a Blade standalone film. So Puppet Master, all the different puppets and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the main character Blade had his own feature film called Blade: The Iron Cross.
I remember that.
And I got cast as big cop Bruce, and I was kind of like a bully cop. And we were talking about accents and stuff. And my dialogue, I had to figure out, this is 1940s. It had to have, that kind of 1940s vibe to it.
Uh-huh.
And so one word I had to say was binoculars. And I could only say it like Bugs Bunny. And it was like, binoculars,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, binoculars? Hey, that's kind of funny. I'm going to do my whole character based on that tone. So
there you go.
Yeah, I was checking her out through the window with my binoculars, and boy, that's one fine filly, So that voice is what stuck. So I had to do that voice through the whole thing. And when Blade finally came out, people were making comments and writing reviews and stuff, and someone called me out on my accent, and they said, "Yeah, that guy doesn't know if he's like the Bronx or Boston." And I'm like, Bronx or Boston? I'm like, I look it up, and I'm like, that's like 100 miles apart. So I think I did pretty good considering I'd never been there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but whatever, accents are tricky, and unless you're from the area, people like, well, you know, like people do, like you said, British accents all the time, where, you know, it's all these famous actors and they do all these perfect American accents, and then you see them in an award show and they're from Britain or England, and like, that guy's English too. And it's like every single one of these guys are, you know, getting doing all these American accent jobs, and they're from England. You know,
that's
so
like
especially the superhero movies,
like Gerard Butler, the dude from Spartan. He's from Wales, and he has a really heavy accent. And I heard him just give an interview. I'm like, I can't understand this man. But then he does you know, films with an American accent, and you can't even tell.
Christian Bale,
yeah, he'll give interviews with an American accent. It's just, and then the guy speaks Spanish. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Well, I mean, slang, very Southern California slang. He did a movie called oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. It's the director from Training Day. It's a bunch of like high school buddies, a group in LA, and they're up to no good. He was the one that went into the military and just came back wired up a little different. What is the name of? Harsh Times.
Oh, yeah, never heard of it.
So he grew up in Hispanic community. His buddies were Mexican, so he has like the Chicano slang. That's what he has. But he was like, wow, he actually speaks a little Spanish.
That's
but
crazy.
It's funny. Speaking of accents, we were here the other day hanging out, doing something with a podcast, and we're talking about our Dungeons and Dragons characters, me and Emmanuel. And then I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna spring. I might do a new character, and I'm gonna do a horrible Scottish accent.
Oh no!
And then we had a couple cocktails in us. So I think we're drinking some old fashions, and the character's name is Keith McGregor. And I was just doing this like horrible accent with like overpronounced R's, and he was dying. I'm like, I'm not going to share this with anyone.
I'm so looking forward to that.
Besides outside of our realm, but yeah, he's this little, a halfling would be equivalent to like a hobbit in the movies, and he's going to be this little shit, you know, just kind of like a shit talker. But his name is McGregor, and the reason why I came up with McGregor is we were on a guy's trip. We're getting food and alcohol, and there's this Clan McGregor Scottish whiskey. And I'm all, McGregor, that's a pretty cool ass name. And I'm like, you know what? And I was like, McGregor. And I kept saying it, McGregor. And I was just making it more pronounced. And I'm like, his name is Keith McGregor. And I'm going to make him a Scot. And he plays the bagpipes. And just, yeah. So he's the professional. I'm just the guy fucking around with voices. Excuse my language, but
I think it's really cool actually that you mentioned that movie specifically with Blade, because I think right now they have the screen used puppet over at Tom Devlin's Monster Museum in Nevada. And, I saw it there. Yeah,
Tom.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, Tom did all our special effects.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, hand in hand. So when I was all excited because I couldn't really. It was a very weird, surreal experience because they actually live streamed the entire filming of it. So if you were there, because they had these Full Moon and Charles Band wanted to do this thing called the Deadly 10, and their plan was to do 10 films in like 1 year or 10 months, one film a month, and live stream it while they were recording it and put all these films out. And they're very ambitious. And then COVID hit and we kind of petered out at about 4 or 5 or 6. So we were live streaming all the different days. We were filming in downtown LA, and we did one of my scenes, and they're like, "Oh, it's too late in the day. We got hard out at 5. Are you available tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have my day job. I should have just called in sick, but I just told them the truth." And I'm like, "Well, what can we do? Can we work around it?" And they're like, "We'll figure it out. We'll get back to you." So the next day, I get home from work, and I'm like, "Well, let's check out the live stream, see what everybody's doing." And I see someone wearing my jacket and my hat.
Shut up.
And in my scene, and I'm like, the hell?
Uh-oh.
And so what they were doing was they had someone, it turned out to be my friend Dustin Ferguson, playing a stunt double for me. And they had his hand set up with prosthetics with special effects. So there's a scene where Blade is attacking supposed to be my hand, but that's Dustin's hand, and so the close-ups on the hand is someone else. And I'm watching it from the cameras above, looking down, and it was like an out-of-body experience. And I'm like, it's supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be there. And it was just really strange. But that whole process was like, they have to shoot really fast, and they're trying to get things done on a certain time. Tom Devlin's his monster museum's awesome, by the way. If you're in Boulder, Nevada, right? Boulder,
Nevada, yeah.
It's awesome.
Really cool.
Has so many different little rooms and stuff, and screen used props and like things that he's built. It's amazing. But working with him on that film, we got to do all kinds of crazy stuff, and without it being any spoilers, whatever. It's been out for a while. One of the scenes that we filmed, there was so much blood that I literally had blood coming out of my nose 2 days later. I still had blood coming out of because I was just drowned in it.
Jesus,
wow.
It was awesome.
That does sound cool.
Yeah. But would you rather do that, or would you rather be like at your regular day job, like, hi, how can I help you?
I'll take the blood nose.
I'll take the bloody
yeah, blood nose, please.
I have a pretty good day job, and I'm happy. But it's like, hey, get to play a monster or a character in this fictional world. Excuse me. That'd be great. Maybe one day you'll get casted as Keith McGregor.
The live action version of our game.
My Scottish accent is horrible.
Mine's class, top notch, class act. Yeah.
You're Keith McGregor.
Yeah, that's a terrible. Oh my god, he's the voiceover.
We'll give classes. Don't worry, boyo.
Yeah, see, yeah. Yeah, he's the voiceover artist. I'm just the guy messing around. So, anywho, correct me if I'm wrong. You've done help. You've helped behind the camera as well as in front of the camera. I mean, besides being an actor, you've done stuff behind the camera as well.
Just helping out with sometimes makeup.
Okay.
And like, I'm not classically trained as a makeup artist. So I'm self-taught, and I was taught to work on myself. So when you're trained, you learn how to work on other people and have a sterile kit and know how to properly do all the different things. So working on other people, it was awkward for me, but sometimes you have to do what you like. Oh, we need this or we need that. So like if someone needed some bruises, I sat there and I just bruised some people up and gave them some wounds, and and I kind of got over that hump as far as being able to work as a makeup artist. That wasn't my first forte, but friends need help. I've helped them on several things. But yeah,
man.
So pretty much that's it.
I mean, you're jack of all trades. You're able to do a little bit of everything. I mean, you're a busy man. I mean, I saw the list of post productions on IMDb the other day. You mentioned, we were sharing texts that you just came off set for 10 hours, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean,
you work
another
Mike.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's another Mike Mendez movie. I still don't even know what it's called, so I can't get in trouble on my NDA because I don't even know what I shot.
You don't even know you shot. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a regular 9 to 5. You got kids. I mean, you're a busy dude.
Yeah. Plus, I'm like sort of newly, but not really. I'm also a caregiver for my dad. Okay. My dad's developed dementia.
Very, very, very commendable for you to do that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's someone has to do it. So, so I figured out ways of being able to maintain my regular life and then also care for my dad, and I do that by bringing my dad with me to set. So there's been several movies recently that I got my dad cast as one of the characters. So my friend Pat Kuznati, he did How to Kill Your Roommates and Get Away with It, and we filmed at my house for one of the scenes. And there's a movie within a movie. So like the main character is watching TV and he's watching a zombie movie, and we made our own little zombie movie. And so I was a zombie, obviously. And then my dad got to play one of the old "you're all gonna die" character.
That's cool.
So he got cast in it, and we filmed that, and then that led to some other things. So I worked on a Western called No Name and Dynamite, and that's a beautiful There hasn't been a Western like this in a long time, probably since like, anything with Clint Eastwood,
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this just came out. It's on streaming, I think all the streaming services. So No Name and Dynamite. It's kind of an old throwback to the old spaghetti westerns.
Okay.
But when I was getting fitted for my costume, the director looked over at my dad and was like, "Hey, he'd be perfect. You want to put him in too?" And so he, there's always the old guy sitting on the porch watching everything that's going on. So he got cast in it, and we got to work with each other, and it was fun. He loved watching the gunfights and
That's so cool.
there's some fist fights and stuff, and people getting thrown through windows, and it was exciting for him. He enjoyed it.
Right on,
and
man. That's cool. You guys get
was
to share
able to
those
keep him
moments.
close.
Nice. Off the subject, one of my favorite, it's such a bad movie, favorite Clint Eastwood movies. I think he just started, I don't know if he directed it. It's Heartbreak Ridge, where he plays a Marine drill sergeant.
Yeah.
And he's one of these old leather, just like rough leather necks from like, I think he served in Nam and probably some other campaigns or whatever. So he gets like the riffraff recon, I think. And he's there to clean house. And one of his famous lines from the movie, and I'm going to butcher it. He goes, he tells one of the guys, he tells him this. He's like, "How about if I bend you over and bang you in the keister?" I can't do a Clint Eastwood voice, but he has like these one-liners. They're hilarious. I'm just like, yeah, it's like, God, late 80s. And just like this, yeah, it's a typical Clint Eastwood movie, but it's just hilarious. When he said that, just the first thing that popped, instead of like Unforgiven or like Gran Torino or like the orangutan movie, Every Which Way But Loose, like these or like Alcatraz, Heartbreak Ridge comes into my mind, which is a horrible movie. Yeah, so.
But talking about going full circle, a gentleman that was in that movie Heartbreak Ridge is a guy named Pete Koch, who's a former Raider, and I worked with him on Kill 'Em All Los Angeles.
Oh shit!
He's still an actor.
Okay.
He's in all the commercials. He does lots of TV commercials and stuff now. He's like, I think probably 60 years old, but he's like super in shape, and he's huge. There's one of the insurance commercials where there's like, "Yeah, I'm a roadie." It's an older guy. Talks about it. He puts like some water on an amp and just talking about having some bands or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the same guy. But he's had a full career from working on with like Clint Eastwood on Heartbreak Ridge to tons of other movies. But all these guys are still everybody knows everybody in this business.
Huh.
So it's really cool to have shared the screen with some of these. I'd call them pretty big actors.
Who did he play in Heartbreak Ridge? No one's gonna get this besides you and me.
I don't know his character. He was like really big, muscle bound. He looked like, kind of reminded me of
There was one character who was like massive. He was like a bodybuilder big. I think
it's him. Yeah. It's like the Russian. I can't remember his name either. It's the one from Rocky 3.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to crush you. He's big like that.
I must break you. What's his real name?
I'll break you.
He played the Punisher.
Oh, Drago?
Dolph Lundgren. And he played He-Man in that horrible movie, which was filmed in Uptown Whittier, mind you.
Really?
Yeah, the He-Man Master Universe in the 80s, that was filmed, the city scenes, that was Uptown Whittier.
Wow.
You'd be surprised how many movies were filmed in Uptown Whittier. It's just the look of it, the aesthetic.
Got that old Americana look to it, Main Street.
His name, and God, I can't believe I know this. The actor you're speaking of who came out Heartbreak Ridge, the character he played was named Johannesburg, and he was this big meathead. And they brought him in to beat up Sergeant Gunny Highway. How do I know these characters' names?
It sounds like you really like this movie. That's why.
And that is Clint Eastwood. And he ends up beating up Johannesburg, and he's like, after he beats him up, he's like, "You want me to wait here while you call the MPs?" And he does he does this one-liner, "No, get your ass in line. Come on, we're gonna make a Marine out of you," or whatever. But it has to be the same guy. He's the only meathead in the movie. And like Mario Van Peebles comes out in it.
Oh my goodness!
It's a horrible movie.
Yeah, Pete's a big guy. He's like 6'7".
It's gotta be him. He's a big dude. It's like massive.
And he still works out. He's a personal trainer. He's works out at was it Muscle Beach in Venice?
Okay.
And I think he was I can't remember his name. He played the Wolfman recently. Del Toro.
Del Toro.
Benicio
That's
Del Toro.
a great movie. I love it's it's underrated. That Wolfman with
Oh, it was good.
Sir Anthony Hopkins. I am actually going to, hopefully for Monsterpalooza, if not maybe Midsummer, myself and my friend Jessica, who's an amazing makeup artist, we're going to do a rendition of the classic Wolfman. I already have the prosthetic piece I'm looking at, the hands, the feet, and we're looking at full facial prosthetics and maybe a wig, but we're going to go classic Wolfman, hopefully. So,
awesome. That's so cool.
I got the contacts ready from vampfangs.com, official sponsor of the podcast.
Which one? What was that again?
Vampfangs.com. They're
Vampfangs.com. I'll have to check it out.
They have really good contacts. They're FDA approved. They're made here in the US. They have really good fangs. And they got like apparel, and they have sunglasses and all that. But all my specialty contacts I've gotten for them. I like the fact that they're made here in the US. They're made in Salem. That's what they're made. I've had bad experiences with contacts that were shipped overseas, didn't get a show up in time. But
I did that recently.
I'll send you the link to the Vamp Fangs. You can check out their contacts, and they do prescriptions as well. So I'm blind as a bat.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll send the link.
Yeah, my last experience with a ad on Facebook, buying these lenses.com. And I thought I remembered the company being good, and I bought them for Hell of the Screaming Undead. We had like these red and black eyes when people are infected, and I bought 3 sets of them for different characters. And I put it in one eye, and then put it in the other eye, and it just kept twitching, and it was. I've been wearing contacts almost my whole adult life. Almost probably at least 35 plus years. I've never had a problem tearing lenses. This thing I put in my eye one time and tore. Yeah. And I looked at it and I'm like, I couldn't believe it just disintegrated. Open up another one, torn. They came out of the package torn. So
yeah, they're probably
I'm real scared to order things. But thank God you have a good reference to a quality company.
Yeah, I'll shoot you their info. Really good contacts. They had fangs and like prosthetic makeup too, little scars and stuff. But cool company. They've been sponsoring the podcast for some time now.
That's great. I'll definitely hit them up.
So tell me about the you've been doing some work with the Night Shadow Theater. Tell me what that's about. Wow.
Okay, so these guys, they started off as a home haunt in Whittier. The Haunted Rose.
The Haunted Rose.
Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Ryan Banfield. So he's a home haunt, but he's also a set designer, and he's done work for lots of different things. Currently, right now, I think he works at Disney. But Ryan Banfield has this group of people, and him and Ryan Parks and another guy named Tom put together Night Shadow Theater. It's based on there's a TV horror kung fu theater. You ever seen that?
Horror come through. We have a friend, that
Grimsby.
Yeah, our friend Robert. I think he was affiliated with them somehow.
Yeah, he's still.
So it was like it was the paper, like a cable access type show.
Yeah,
it was on for forever and ever. It was on like late night, and they would do like horror host type things. The show is named. His character was the Night Shadow, and the guy that was Night Shadow, unfortunately, he passed away a few years back, and they wanted to kind of keep his legacy alive. So this group, they named the show after his character in tribute to him. So it's Night Shadow Theater, and what they do is they feature a film and then create almost like a stage play with characters that are sort of in the movie. So they kind of make their own movie of the movie that they're watching.
Kind of like a shadow cast a little bit, maybe like a shadow cast, like
kind of, but it's sort of they kind of rebuild and reshoot their own little scenes. Like, okay, so the first episode they did Night of the Living Dead, and the satellite falling, the satellite that crashed into Earth is what caused the zombie apocalypse. They literally had a flaming trash can that they launched and dropped it off the roof of their garage and crashed and burned. That's and cool. Like they didn't burn their house down.
Imagine the neighbors.
Yeah, but no, they were like their the effort is like over that so much effort into trying to make this as cool as possible. For like but the sets are really cool, and there's like real. It's very artistically done by people that care a lot, and I was friends with Ryan Parks, who's one of the characters on the show. He plays Goulash, kind of like a gravedigger guy, and he's like, "Hey, I got this role for you," and episode 2 was City of the Dead, also known as Horror Hotel, and that was just released on YouTube. It's out right now, so if you look up Night Shadow Theater,
cool,
you can watch the episode. And so it kind of starts off with a little bit of the characters acting, and then it goes into the movie, and then as it takes breaks as the movie continues, it'll cut back and forth between the movie and then what's happening in with our characters. And it worked out really, really well. It's great writing. It's really super funny. It's hilarious. And so hopefully I'll be able to do some more episodes with them.
Besides I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and then I believe the 3rd episode is going to be coming out shortly after this one. And that's going to be Plan 9 from Outer Space, I believe.
I already know who you're going to play.
No, that's already been done.
Oh, shit, never mind. Maybe I should pay attention.
I totally could have been Thor Johnson.
Right.
Thor Johnson.
I can totally see that.
Yeah. No, I've actually done that character for Halloween parties and stuff.
Nice.
I would have been perfect for it, but I got there too late because it's just timing.
Hey, it happens.
It's awesome. It sounds like a more advanced version of the skits that they would do on Mystery Science Theater 3000, where they would like integrate the characters from the movie they're watching into like some dumb skit that they were doing.
Do you hear that voice?
More advanced.
Do you hear that golden voice he has over here? It's amazing. It's like
awesome.
It's
you can make money with that.
Do your Morgan Freeman.
Hello, today you are listening to the Creepcast with Rick Creeper 11.
I'm sorry. So what I'm gonna do is I do in every episode where they can find you on your IMDb, Instagram, your website. I will have that description in the. I'll have that linked in the description of the podcast, and also I'll put the Night Shadow Theater link for their YouTube and Instagram as well.
Cool, thanks.
So people can check it out. They can see your work, and it also like where they can find Minji and his amazing golden voice, the man of many hats over here. You shared some music videos with me, which blew my mind. You played a creepy character. It was Cradle the like they're like kind of like a metal, I guess hardcore metal band, Cradle of Filth.
Yeah.
And you played this creepy looking demon with and I was like, that was. I love the video. Your character was very evil and twisted, and I love the video, but at the same time, your character kind of creeped me out. So, have you done a lot of music videos?
I'm starting to.
Okay.
So that director, his name is Vicente Cordero, and he has a company called Industrialism Films, and he's done probably like 300 different music videos for all kinds of different bands. And he's done a bunch for Cradle of Filth. He's worked with so many bands. It's incredible, his list. But that one was an extra special one because he literally went to England, filmed with the band, and if you look at the video, I mean, even if you're not listening to it, just watching the visuals on it, it looks like some big opera or something, like Faust, and there's all these devils and angels and demons, and the production value looks like they spent millions of dollars. I don't think they did, but it looks like they did. It's the quality is just insane, and he's got a very small production crew. He shoots everything himself. He edits them himself, and does a fantastic job. And I met him a while back, earlier last year. I got cast as there's someone sent me, because everybody works in the industry. And people are like, "Hey, dude, there's a casting call. You'd be perfect for this." And I'm like, I don't have time. I'm working. I'm dealing with it. Okay, I'll look at it. Oh shit, I kind of do look like him. Am I allowed to say S word?
There you go. Yeah, I drop S bombs and F bombs all the time. Yeah, I like how you cover your mouth. Like you got in trouble or something.
Oops, pardon me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
So they were looking for someone to play Aleister Crowley.
Oh,
and
I like that video. And you do look like him.
Thanks. So I had to do a little bit of research and figure out, who he was and what. There's not a whole lot of footage because it's really old stuff, but the pictures that were there, I sort of have his same shape. I have this face and shape of his head, and listening to some of his. They have old wax recordings of him talking, so I would have to try to figure out his cadence and how he talked. And so they gave me some lines to read, and I auditioned for this thing, and it turned out it was for Vicente Cordero, and we shot all day long, and I was able to really get into that character, and the video came out awesome. It was for a band called Neo Slave, so I'm featured in that, and then he's like, "Hey, you do other characters and stuff," and we ended up doing a Pink Floyd tribute band.
I saw that one too.
It was called "Wish You Were Here," but it was like an all-star tribute band with James LaBrie from Dream Theater, Steve Stevens on guitar, and a bunch of just huge pro players. I think even Jeff Tate sang one of the songs on the album, but I got to play the infamous record producer, and I got to say the words, by the way, which one's pink? On the video, Have a Cigar. So that was a lot of fun portraying that evil producer, but I did my own makeup on that. And as the video progressed, each day that we shot, I started off all innocent and normal and trustworthy and like, hey, sign on the dotted line. And then as the video progressed, I got a little darker and a little scarier, and by the end of the video I'm the devil, and it was a lot of fun, just to see the transformation over just a short amount of time. I aged myself. I had my beard grown out from the Western, so I just put white makeup on it to make me look like I'm in my 60s or 70s, or I don't know how old I look, but it's kind of weird how facial hair and putting a little bit of makeup, you can age yourself and turn yourself into like these other characters that, I don't think I look 60 or 70. I'm 51, but it's fun to get into these weird different characters and portray something different.
I dug the videos. I watched all three of them back to back, and as Aleister Crowley, I was like, holy hell! I mean, were you smoking heroin too? Because he was a heroin addict. I'm like, I wonder if he chased the dragon to take on the full role and just.
No, I just look stoned.
real method there.
He's like, wow, he went down a rabbit hole. He looks hammered.
Yeah, well, in college I was the grassy knoll, so I just
wow.
And
there you are.
The Cradle Filth video. That we were texting. I was like, man, like I listened to the music and I turned it off. I just wanted to watch. It looked like it was on a huge production. It looked like a film. It looked like an actual horror movie. And then you're this demon, like
My character's name was The Fall of Man.
That was weird.
The song is Crawling King Chaos. It was like their first big single from their new album, and I had no idea who Cradle of Filth was at the time when I first. And I told my daughter, and she's like, "What? You're going to work with who?" And like, she's like, "Dad, they're huge. They're like Metallica in England, and they've been around for 30
Forever.
years.
Yeah.
And huge following, loyal fans." And being a part of that video, able to work on that was a big, it was kind of big, and opened me up to a bigger audience. And even though I'm wearing the crown, I thought I'm the king,
Right.
And they're like, "No, you're not the king. The king's the other guy with the hood on." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, you're okay.
So, but yeah, no, it was just kind of cool to get featured in that. And they shared my picture, and I had my eyes. I looked like I was blind, and I had no vision, and I made my beard, old, and that was kind of unnerving because they said, "Well, we're gonna kind of show you from the. You have any problem not having your shirt on like that?" I'm like, because I'm not skinny, I'm not ripped, I'm kind of a little chubby.
Oh, I'm not Mr. Universe either, so I could relate. Geez.
Yeah, so it was real awkward for me to do that, but I'm just like, screw it, whatever. So the way they cropped it, I had my arms out, sort of like, like I'm chained up or something. It was fun to get into that character, but it was also like I don't know. Now I understand how women feel, when being, in states of less stress, whatever, and having a whole crew of people around you, and I'm sitting there like, this is embarrassing. I'm sucking your gut.
Everyone can see your business.
Yeah. But that was my first time doing that. And then people had shared, it's like, hey, dude, you were at Bloodstock. And I'm like, what? And so there's this huge metal festival in England called Bloodstock, and Cradle of Filth was the headliner, and they had video sequencing for the backdrop.
That's so cool.
My head, my chest, or whatever, was like part of the backdrop when they played Crawling Kick-Ass live. They did different clips from the video, and someone sent me some stills. So that was kind of trippy too. I never thought I'd be naked on stage in England.
This giant jumbotron for 80,000 fans at like an arena rock show. Jeez.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's cool, man. Right on.
But no, the Cradle of Filth guys were cool. I got to go. I went to their show. Brought my daughter. We saw them play at the. I don't even know what the place is. The fancy theater downtown.
It's the Kodak Theater.
No. Like this is an old Belasco theater. I think the Belasco. It's off of Broadway.
Jeez.
One of the old like the 1920s theaters.
Oh wow.
They have bands. So it's next to the Mayan. I think they're right next to each other.
Jesus.
But if you ever get a chance to see a band play there, the place is awesome.
Right on. Yeah, I saw the post that you took your daughter to that concert. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, that was a cool video. Everything you've done, I've just like highly admired. And just you've done it all. You've done the full gambit, and you still have like a normal life. You're not just focusing on one thing. You're able to have that balance. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to also be inspirational to my kids. Both my kids are talented. My daughter plays guitar. She's shreds. She spent the whole pandemic, just practicing playing her guitar, and she's like emulates, Kirk Hammett from Metallica. She can knows how to play almost all the songs, and plays all the solos, and just incredible. So you can find her on Instagram on official Cheyenne Scott. She's a very talented player and up and coming musician.
Nice.
And then she's 19, and then my son 17 is a aspiring director. Actually, is a director now, because we worked on when he was 13 years old. I pushed him to he was making little videos and stuff, but he wanted to make a Friday the 13th, his own Friday the 13th like fan film. So he wrote, edited, directed, and shot this while he was 13 years old, and we put it out. It's called Paranoia. That led to him doing a full feature. And while he was 16, he did a giallo film called Tunnel to the Inferno, and I was lucky enough to be the executive producer of that. And it's been wrapped. We're in post production, fine tuning it, and getting ready to set it up to get distribution. And he did all that while he's a junior in high school. And he did that while he was a sophomore. During COVID, he was able to do a 2-hour feature, and it's really really good.
I wonder where they get it from. No idea.
I don't know
where they get this creative talent, being artistic.
Weird.
Yeah, kids these days, shake my fist at them.
It's great that they both have their own direction that they're going and pursuing artistic endeavors, and I'm nothing but support. I just want them to thrive and enjoy being young and being creative and going to attack full force.
Right on, man. That's good for them. I love hearing stories like that.
It's commendable.
It's very commendable.
So Mason Scott and Tunnel to the Inferno. Keep an eye out for that. And then my daughter Cheyenne Scott.
Nice. Right on.
Absolutely.
As far as yourself, sir, any new projects you could talk about?
I have something big that I'm working on that has been announced, but I'm a character in a video game, and that's called Dark Mean City. Nice. And we're going to be working on that this summer. The COVID has kind of slowed us down a little bit, but I'm working with Norberto Sander. He's got a company called Argos Real Games, and he's out of Brazil, and we connected through Instagram and started following each other, and then I got cast as one of the main characters. I play a doctor in this dark kind of zombie video game that takes place in a dark, mean city, and bad stuff happens. And we're filming that this summer, and that's going to be available for PlayStation 5.
Nice.
Awesome.
Right on.
That's really cool.
Right up our alley.
That'll be that's my first, not first, but one of my first voiceover gigs.
Nice. You guys should definitely connect. You're on the same page as far as creativity and VO work and film and all that. So
right after we're down there. Absolutely.
I'm excited. I'm really excited, but I'm also very scared because, like, I don't know if, like, you want to come up with a great character, and this is too much, is it too little, and everybody talks like this, and it's like, or I could just be myself and talking in a normal voice, and like, how do I play the character? And so there's so many things, and when you're self-taping and making options for the director, and I give them 1, 2, and 3, and which one do you like? And they're like, yes.
Yeah.
So I have to just keep, I don't know which character they liked, so I just keep making all these tapes and recording all these parts. And this summer will be where we go into full production with all the voiceover stuff. So I'm really excited about that.
Right on, man.
Cool.
You two need to connect.
Absolutely.
Definitely. He's you went to school for that. You're you're actively working. I'm clueless to the industry, so I probably butcher any information. But he'd be the man to speak to, Manuel.
There's a school for voiceover?
Oh yeah. There's a few now, actually. It's kind of become a growing business.
And
like
you
schools.
You teach classes as well here and
I
there,
do
right?
teach, yeah. In fact, I teach video game voiceover.
Yeah. So, small world.
Hey, I'm going to have to take some classes before I do my gig.
Come on down.
So I will somehow get you guys connected after the podcast.
Awesome.
That's great, man. You got a lot going on. Anything you want to plug?
Well, I plug my son's movie, Tunnel to the Inferno. That's going to be coming out. Dark Mean City. I think that's pretty much it for right now.
Okay, cool.
I mean, Night Shadow Theater. There's everything I work. I try to plug everything. Every project that I work on, I put 1,000% of my energy into, and it's kind of hard to juggle multiple things all at once. And it's, if you would have said 10 years ago that, hey, you're going to be an actor and you're going to work on all these things, I would have probably, yeah, right. I always wanted to be an actor, but I just always watched movies. And, now looking back, I don't know how I've done as much as I've done. I just do it and then we'll keep moving on. That last thing I shot last week was just one day, but that's going to be part of a bigger project, and I still don't even know what that project's even called. I just got my scene and that's it. And a lot of times they don't tell us. They keep us in the dark just to keep everything private. It'll be like a 10-page, or I don't know how long the script is, but I'll get like 6 pages of it, and I'll know that I'm on page 12 to 17. So I'm like, cool, there's more to the story, which makes it, I think, a little more exciting, but some good stuff, lots of big stuff coming up that I haven't been cleared to talk about. So the future is definitely bright, and things are, I'm excited to keep going and keep growing as an actor.
Well, you've done a lot. You got a lot on your plate. You're moving forward. You've accomplished a lot, and I have the utmost respect for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're a very humble man. You're cool to talk to. Like I mentioned before, everything you got going on, where they can find you, IMDb, Instagram, YouTube, any projects you're working on, I will list in the podcast description. Before you leave, I think we've talked long enough. Jeez. As I clear my throat, Mike, very good. Don't worry about it. Because I'm so professional.
With water?
Yeah, I got some next to me. I should be drinking it. Yeah,
I'm going to give you your own button.
There you go. There we go. Okay. So what I normally do for every episode, I always have a fantasy question for the guests. and I print this picture of a scenario, like a what if scenario. And so what it is, in your respective home, a time portal opens up. You have, and this one I worked on for a while. Like I really wanted to do something cool because you've done so much. You have the opportunity to work on any classic Universal Monster movie of your choice. What do you do? Starring role, supporting role, makeup, prop department. What do you do and why?
Wow.
So do you go back to the Wolfman and you're doing makeup right there on the moors? Do you go back to the set of Frankenstein? Do we go back and work on London? Is it London After Midnight? The Lon Chaney,
the Lost movie.
Yeah. Lost movie. Do you work on that? Do we work on Phantom of the Opera? Do we go back and I'm going to keep Universal Monsters. I was going to say Hammer Films. Let's keep Universal Monsters.
Yeah. No. I don't know. I would love to have met Lon Chaney Sr. He just everything about him it was just fascinating. You know, I heard he was very difficult to deal with. Him and his son didn't get along at certain times, which is I think there was a movie Man of a Thousand Faces that talked about that, but I think that he would be fascinating. Also, I would have loved to have worked with Vincent Price. I think Vincent Price is an amazing actor, and working on like something like The Raven with Vincent Price and Boris Karloff and I forgot the guy that talks like this, boss.
Peter Lorre.
Peter Lorre. That's funny you say that.
But to be a fly on the wall, to be a part of those crews and see how they all work together, just being able to meet them, even if it was like I wouldn't want to do anything physically there because that would change history.
Okay.
They're all perfect as they are, but to kind of show up and just kind of spy on them and watch them in first person, I think that would be fascinating because changing timelines could cause catastrophic things, and they have TV shows about that, like Legends of Tomorrow, where they're constantly trying to fix the timeline.
Quantum Leap, I love that series.
Yeah, I mean, Back to the Future, back to full circle, back to where what if you were on set while they were filming that,
God,
what if they saw you and made you one of the kids riding a bike?
What if I mess something up? Yeah.
It's all about making choices and following through with these choices. And as being an actor, you're given a certain amount of flexibility. But my worst enemy is hindsight.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, I could have done that. I could have said this. I could have been so much better. So when I'm self-taping for auditions, I'll go back and look, and I'm like, holy shit, there's 60 takes. Oh, I mean, this part of this is good, and part of this is good, and part of this is good, but and then I keep trying to get that perfect take so that I can send it off, and I don't know if I did it right or so my self-doubt, it's a hard beast to get over. And then you walk into like an improv class, and there's some people that just, okay, here's 3 elements, boom, 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 and they're fully like engaged in this amazing topic, and I'm like, how did they do that?
That's how Han auditions are. They're like, okay, this is your scenario. They made me one audition. They're like, you're a teenage girl who's part of a cheer squad, and you're upset at your best friend who's still in the spotlight. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Tell me there's tape of this.
There probably is.
Oh my goodness.
But I didn't work at this place, and I totally went. I embodied, no pun intended, Jennifer's bodied. What's her name? Really pretty brunette. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. The movie Jennifer's Body.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. And I embodied her, and I was like mad at my girlfriend, and I was just like, I'm totally just gonna poison her Red Bull, that fucking bitch. And I was like, I did it. I was like, and they made us, okay, your next scenario, you're this. Okay, next scenario, you're that. They made us do that like on the fly. They do that to see if you will get embarrassed. And I totally did it. Like the hands and the body language was amazing. But
That's your next D&D character. You're the little girl with the ray gun.
probably, I don't know. We'll see. How about a couple lines? I'll make it easy for you. A couple lines, if you remember, Police Chief Redfern. If
Wow.
not, no biggie.
I wish I was refreshed. I haven't done that in a long time. So the thing with Dead Dame in Hollywood is an excellent movie. It's a 1940s noir cop thriller, but done tongue-in-cheek style, like Police Academy, or not Police Academy, like Police Squad, or Naked Gun, or
Naked Gun.
or Airplane. But everything was really super tongue-in-cheek, and my character, I played off of the main detective, and now I'm totally drawing blanks.
No worries.
But we played off each other, so it's like we would like his he would be doing like voiceover work where we're going into his office, and it's a mess. Someone had ransacked his office, and he's like, I don't know, something. My stomach's telling me. No, my gut's telling me that this is an inside job or something. And I'm stopping. I'm like, why would your gut talk? Why would your stomach talk?
Right.
Just like cheesy, reacting to what he's saying.
Can't be honest.
But that movie is hilarious. If you get a chance to check it out, it's on Amazon Prime. I think it costs like $1.
Okay.
But we literally shot that entire thing on location in like tiny little places. So we turned the director's couch into a car, and we had like a little fake steering wheel, and we used his TV as a rear projection. So there's scenes of us driving down, and with like old video footage behind us, and the dynamics of the characters and stuff were really, really great. It's just hopefully this film is just technically technically self-distributed, so it didn't really go anywhere, but I think it has potential to be like one of these, like if it got distribution, or the right distribution, got out to enough people, I think people loved it. And it was a lot of fun to work on. That stars Alan Maxon, who was the main detective. Evergreen was his name. So it's Evergreen. I'm Redfern. He's Evergreen.
Cool.
But Alan Maxon went on to be the right head of King Ghidorah in King of All Monsters. He's a mocap actor, and so I get to work with King Ghidorah. How
That's
cool
pretty
is
cool,
that?
man. Nice. Right
That's
on.
awesome.
And he's also in Blade: Darren Cross.
Nice.
He plays Blade.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Yep, there's a real person in that puppet. So they were like live. Built a live. Tom Devlin built a live size 6 foot something Blade doll costume, and they shot him green screen doing all this stuff. So when Blade's running across the screen, that's Alan Maxon.
That is a big ass puppet. I'm sorry.
That'd be giant. That would be scary.
That's
now.
fucking creepy.
I didn't see that one. I love the tenacity and creativity of independent filmmakers. Just the ideas they come up with to get their concepts off the ground.
That's
so
insane,
cool.
man.
Yeah. They built in Dead Dame in Hollywood. There's a clock tower scene where they're like, "Oh no, it's a giant clock tower." They literally built that in his living room with giant numbers stuck on the wall, and then they shot it, and they just cheated the angle, and it looks cheesy. It's campy.
Oh
but,
my god!
It works. It works really, really well, and the actors in it are super, super funny. So I highly recommend checking out A Dead Dame in Hollywood.
Definitely want to check it out. I can check it out on Amazon Prime. I got it. So
yeah, it's only $1.
yeah, it's not that bad. I can, I'll dip into the savings account. I think I can afford it. So there we go. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think we're at the end of the episode. I want to thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, dude.
Really appreciate it.
I've been wanting to reach out to you for a while. We've been indirect acquaintances through Instagram. And Facebook, which I'm not active on, but I wanted to reach out to you. And again, I wanted to kind of branch out of my comfort zone or my element to like bring on different guests. I mean, it's all relevant somehow to the haunt community or the haunt attraction industry and TV, film, and makeup and so forth. But
that's how we all got started. That's how it's a huge community. The haunt community is amazing. Everybody knows everybody. Every single haunt.
We never had a chance to talk about you when you were at Spook Show last year. cosplaying as Jason, I was there helping my girlfriend vend. She's a vendor. She does like vintage Halloween goods and decor and all that. We didn't get the chat, but you were there as Jason, correct?
Yeah. So I had worked with the photographer Raul of the Dead. Yeah. So he Raul is super cool, and
cool, dude.
He always does all these cool different cosplays and works with these beautiful models. And then I'm like, he's like, "Hey, you want to work with me?" I'm like, "I'm not a beautiful model. What are you talking?" But we always tried to work with each other. Brianna.
We worked at Dark Harbor. Yeah, we worked together at Dark Harbor. Yeah,
she's awesome. So she wanted to do this camp counselor Crystal Lake thing, and Raul hits me up. He's like, "Hey, dude, do you know anybody that's got a Jason costume?" And I'm like for a shoot? And I'm like, "Well, my son's got a mask. I think I can do it." You know what? Instead of giving the referral out to someone else, I'm like, I'm going to take it on. So I went, and my son's mask has he's got the Freddy versus Jason from fiberglass masks. So it's like legit, like screen, looks like the one they used in the movie in the film. So I based my character off of that Jason, and went to the thrift store and found a jacket and put some mossy stuff on there and splattered blood, and it created the character. And that was a lot of fun to get into that character, because I'm not the biggest guy. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", maybe 5'11" if I got like some nice boots on. Yeah. But when I'm putting that mask on, I did my makeup, because I'm already kind of Jason-esque. My middle name's Jason. So
there you go. You're halfway there.
Yeah. But it didn't take much to, because I'm wearing the mask the whole time. So I just kind of grayed myself out and got into character with the axe and everything. And we shot at Pudding Stone, and we shot a little movie that went along with the photo shoot, and that got a lot of attention. Like, it was like people dug it and really liked it and stuff. So when he puts out his own magazine called Raw of the Dead magazine. It's like a photo book of all his awesome shots, and our shoot made it on the cover for that episode, or for that edition. So that's why I was there working for Raul to help promote and get people into his booth to check out his photography and stuff. And I'm like, "Hey, you want to hang out and like be in character?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I just walked around, and it was really hot that day. It was weird.
It was hot. It was September, and it was hot as a devil.
Yeah,
we were just pouring with sweat, but I don't care. I'll get in. Luckily, I wasn't in a rubber mask, because that would be horrible. But just getting into wearing the Jason thing, and what booth was your girlfriend's?
God, we were like towards the front, towards the entrance, next to
Rad Coffee.
Not by Rad Coffee, but towards, who was next to us?
Gray Phantom, I think, wasn't it?
We're near Ernie, the Gray Phantom. We were kind of staggered across from Hellflower Soap Company. It's such a blur. I was tired.
But were you on the front row, first row, or the back row? Where the Rad Coffee truck was?
We were on the front, so we weren't on the second. Wrapped around like kind of U shape.
So when you walk in the front door, you were one of the first booths.
I think we were like the fourth or fifth booth as soon as you walked into the left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it was so crowded. It was great because it's a fun event, and since the pandemic hit, we weren't able to do too many fun things. So this was like, oh my gosh, all our friends are going to be there, and like we went and took pictures, and everybody's posting and stuff, and like half my friends are like, "When did that happen? I didn't even know it was happening." It's
a lot of people forgot about it.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of hopefully this year is going to be a much better year, and hopefully we all get to do lots of different haunts. There's a haunt in Orange County that I wanted to check out. Was it Creep It Real?
Creep It Real is going to be an all-day event at the Heritage Museum here in Orange County. I believe it's scheduled for
September. Around September 11th.
I'm most likely going to be there.
Yeah, same here.
And then we got Knott's again, definitely. And then 17th Door.
17th Door is great. I love that place.
You'll have Independence. Maybe Sister Point will do something. I know there's a couple out in, like, there's Coffin Creek out in Corona, and there's so many things going on. You have Reign of Terror up in Thousand Oaks, and then
my friend Chris Hannon works that one. You know Chris?
Yeah, was it Melodies of the Macabre? His music.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, he scored my son's movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I totally forgot a movie.
Which movie?
Okay, so there's a movie coming out this year called Monstro. Basically, it's like Cholo zombies.
I'm sold. I'm in.
Sold. When I would like to be there for the opening night.
the main character's name is Monstro, and Chris Hannon did the score. And I play a judge. In a zombie movie. I actually got to play a human. It was so weird, but you got to see my face, and I got to talk, and it was fun. I've never got to talk in a zombie movie before. So Monstro's coming out. Chris Hannon did the full score for it. It's going to be amazing. If you look up Monstro on Monstro, you'll find some clips. There's a Instagram page for it, but it's kind of like it's part Beetlejuice. It has that Tim Burton kind of vibe.
Nice.
The special effects are like just over the top. The dead bodies, the zombies, beautifully done.
The best part is Cholos. That's the best part.
Yeah, but the guy Vince Romo plays the title character, along with Loretta Vamps. She's like Lady Pinhead with the busty. She's the co-star of the film. So that's going to be a great movie. That comes out this year.
Nice.
Probably closer to Halloween, but Chris did the score for that, and he also scored my son's movie, Tunnel to the Inferno. Nice. So here we are.
Small world.
It's all part of the haunt community, though. Yeah. We're all everybody's involved at some level, and that's what the haunt community. We used to do those mixers, and they do at Disneyland. Mm-hmm. Did you ever go to those?
I probably not.
They do it like on a Sunday. It'd be like a Sunday afternoon. Not Disneyland, but it was like that at the hotel at Trader Sam's.
Trader Sam's.
Then they moved it to some place, the Beachcomber or something, like up by Huntington Beach, but that got too far in Orange County.
That's too far to go. That's gone now.
That's gone now. Down the Beachcombers, that's no longer there.
Yeah, but they would organize it so that it would have meetings. So after haunt, we could all get together and like, yay, we survived another year. And you'd meet like everybody was friends because we would trade off, and sometimes you'd work at this haunt or that haunt or whatever. But everybody knew everybody because of that. And Midsummer Scream and Scare LA. Mm-hmm. Those are great conventions where we can all hang out and get to do stuff.
Definitely a small, but then same time kind of big community, but then everybody knows each other. Everybody. And it's somehow it's all relatable. Movies, voiceover work, scare acting, building. I've done a little bit of build. I've painted. I've obviously scare actor.
It's fun being creative, though, isn't it?
It's definitely it's definitely needed for certain people like myself. Like it's there's more to life than just working 9 to 5. I have to have the creative outlet. So
yeah, and people look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, no, you have no idea. I'm like, I'm normal, like at my day job, but I had a customer. He swore he must have found me on Instagram or something, because he come in and he's like, when are you going to put your mask on? Oh, he's ready for Halloween. And my boss is like, he just insulted you. And I'm like, no, that was the highest compliment I've ever got, So, it's just like people, it's a fantastic outlet. And I think I'm just glad that there is this outlet, because if there wasn't, these conventions or dark delicacies like the bookstore in Burbank or places for us to go where we wouldn't all know each other,
Exactly.
We'd all be like sitting there like, oh, I like movies too. Does the comedy community, do they get together and have conventions and or is it the drama community or, the action hero community? No. The horror community is stuck together and they're tight knit, and everybody loves horror, from the youngest kids dressing up as Jason to old people,
the big kids like me dressing like Michael Myers. Yeah.
No, but it's great. What other community has that type of built-in fan base? And we're just in like tiny Los Angeles, but you go nationwide. Days of the Dead convention, Texas Frightmare, all these other huge conventions. They're ginormous compared to what the little ones that we have here in Los Angeles. And, it's great that, it serves, has many, it helps vendors, it helps actors get their products out. There's all kinds of, but it's being able to meet some of these actors and stuff. For me, I thought it was awesome. That's kind of got me started too. My son loves Friday the 13th movies, and we got to meet Kane Hodder at Dark Delicacies when he was promoting Hatchet 2. And I had no idea that any of this world existed. And I'm sitting there standing in line, and my kids are little, and I'm like looking around, and I'm like, wow, look at all these people. They all like horror like I do.
Right.
And that was like my first, I didn't realize there was a community. I had heard of Fangoria, seen the magazine, but I didn't know that there was a convention, so long live the horror community.
There you go. Man. Yeah, I hear you, man. It's a lot of them I consider family. So, well, it's been an interesting.
We have to go meet up, drink some coffee. Rad Coffee's awesome, by the way.
Oh,
I see you wearing the Rad Coffee shirt.
They just opened a location in Long Beach. In Bixby Knolls. I like the Upland one. But we'll meet it from coffee. I'm here.
I go to the Covina one.
That's right. There's the Covina one. They have the pop-up arcade. You know what?
Yeah,
I'll meet
horror
you.
Arcade.
I'll meet you there. We'll play some pinball.
Sounds good.
And Menji will come to you guys. Could talk VO work.
Heck yeah. Love pinball.
Pinball, coffee, and then we'll talk horror and business. We'll talk shop.
Awesome.
So I think
sounds like a treat.
I think that's it, right? I think we're good. Yeah. I burned through all my notes. We geeked out on enough stuff. Noel Jason Scott, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. You're an amazing man.
So you said you were going to do it for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We got 2.5 hours.
That's it. I told myself hour and a half, and this happens every time. Yeah.
This is great.
It happens. Hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to let things happen. So, but thanks, man. Thanks for coming on, man. I'm changing.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, dude. Changing things up. I have a co-host and producer, I guess. What the hell's the title?
Yes.
I guess. This has been fun. Thanks for coming on. Hope everyone enjoyed this episode. I want to thank both you guys, Emmanuel Menjivar, Menji, and aka Menji Speaks, Mr. Scott for coming on. I want to thank VampFangs Official, vampfans.com, for being a sponsor. You can find them on Instagram at VampFangs Official. Episode 25. I think that's a wrap.
The Creepcast, hosted by Rick Creeper 11. You've once again barely escaped the clutches of the Creepcast with Rick Creeper. Next time, you may not be so lucky. To find out more about the Creepcast and Rick Creeper, follow Rick on Instagram at RickCreeper11. Until next time, be sure to keep that lantern light burning. You never know what could be lurking out there in the dark.